San Francisco Bay's natural geography and intrinsic beauty has definitely been invaluable to the growth of Fisherman's Wharf. The first folks to be in this area would be the Native Americans, the Ohlone tribe, and they would have navigated San Francisco Bay on Thule reed canoes. The next folks were probably the Spanish. They came overland. When the gold rush hit, the world rushed in and San Francisco became an international city. So there was a Chinese settlement around this area, and they fished using traditional Chinese junks. The next group was the Italians, and certainly the signature boat of Fisherman's Wharf is probably the Mediterranean lateen-rigged felucca that you still see today. Tourists actually started to arrive around the early 1900s. They came down for aquatic activities here in Aquatic Park in the Promenade, and that included sunbathing and swimming.
Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco is known for the local fishermen. Our mainstay is Dungeness crabs. In San Francisco, we're the distribution hub, which means that all the fish, north, east, south, and west, lands here.
I am a third-generation fisherman. My grandfather came over from Italy in 1908. My father built the lovely Martha, the one I have now.
There we go, that's a fish.
My son is a fourth-generation fisherman.
Our family's been here now for close to 100 years. You know, I'm the third generation, and we have 5 generations within our business right now. In the beginning of the wharf and its conception, it was pretty much selling crabs from the boats. Then people started picking the crab meat and selling them in little crab cocktails. Some of the original families are there, but there's probably 4, as opposed to what it was in the old days, which were 9 or 10. Fisherman's Wharf and the characters that have come and the characters that are there today make it what it is.
San Francisco sourdough bread started in 1849 in San Francisco when Isidore Boudin, as a youngster, came here and opened a bakery with his grandfather, Francois Boudin. We were serving most of the restaurants at Fisherman's Wharf, and we sell anywhere up to 17,000 loaves of bread a day to the public in this building. We depict the history of sourdough, and we show where it's made all over the world.
So we have Prince Edward Island mussels.
The restaurants in Fisherman's Wharf have first pick of all the fish that comes across the dock. I think that people should come to San Francisco knowing that they're going to get the finest seafood, the finest selection of wines, and the best produce that you can find on this coast.
Warren Simmons built Pier 39 and opened in 1978. And the noted person that was there at the opening was Mayor Dianne Feinstein. She was there because she had made a bet with Warren Simmons that it would not open when it did open, and she lost, and she showed up in her bathing suit.
As a saxophonist and a soloist, I'm able to work down here on a regular basis. I'm in the company of a lot of different other performers who are just a lot of fun to be around. It's really wonderful.
The California Fruit Canners Association began around the beginning of the 20th century. It shipped its fruit and vegetables under the Del Monte label. In 1963, Leonard Martin, who purchased the cannery, turned the cannery into a beautiful shopping center. In 2003, the Hazlitt warehouse, where Del Monte had its fruits and vegetables stored, was converted into the Argonaut Hotel and the Blue Mermaid restaurant.
Domingo Ghirardelli is originally from Italy and came to San Francisco to start his chocolate business, and he purchased the site in 1893, and through the 1900s expanded many buildings to house the chocolate, cocoa, mustard business of his family. JMA Ventures purchased the site in 2004 with the plan to revitalize the square.
The National Park Service has invested about $22 million in rehabilitating the Aquatic Park Bathhouse, better known as the Maritime Museum. We'll be opening up full-time for visitors, and we'll also be entering a process to evaluate future uses in the museum and the exhibits and the kind of community places that we should have there.
We have 15 million visitors a year in Fisherman's Wharf, and the feeling was we needed a street that put pedestrians first, and so our plan does that. The city is very excited about the Jefferson Street plan. This is going to be a major improvement to the area. It's going to meet the needs of the tourists, of the visitors, and also of the merchants.
The Pier 43 Promenade project is another great public space addition to the San Francisco waterfront. We're going to be removing a parking lot, reconstructing the seawall, and constructing 2 more blocks of the Embarcadero Promenade. So it'll enable visitors to walk right next to the bay, take in fantastic views. They'll be next to the historic Pier 43 ferry arch. They'll also be adjacent to Pier 41, the ferry terminal facilities there.
My grandfather immigrated to the United States in 1909 from Italy and came here to Fisherman's Wharf. He lived on North Point, and his first job was at the Ghirardelli factory along with hundreds of other Italian immigrants during that period. Fisherman's Wharf has always been about family. It's about family traditions, it's about family businesses, and today millions of families from around the world come to Fisherman's Wharf every year to experience what's real about San Francisco. Congratulations, Fisherman's Wharf, on receiving the 2009 Silver Cable Car Award.